Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and do this bit of a summer 2025 room tour, minor room tour. Just like I did earlier this year, I switched things up again, if you will. Kind of put things kind of similar to what they were before, but a little bit more different as well. Kind of basically switch things up to, have a refresher, seasonal refresher and everything. And also the fact that I helped I helped put some bookshelves together earlier this week and last week for the matriarch of the family. So, I helped do that, and it's mainly because they have a lot of books, that they've collected throughout throughout their years, their decades, and some of them are because of their religion, because of them being a prayer warrior and all that, like Joyce Meyer. Like they got Joyce Meyer, they got they got Dr. Jeremiah, Joel Osteen, you name it. But also they got a lot of song stuff, a lot of music stuff, like Dolly Parton. They got that big book on Dolly Parton that came out a couple years ago. Beatles, the Cher book that came out, so on and so forth. As well as some children's books that they would want to have around just in case they need something to look into, research whenever they go back to work at their school, at their pre-K school. And so they have that and everything. So but basically point I'm getting at is it got me in the mood to want to kind of switch things up myself. And I was thinking about it, and what's crazy is I thought about it the other day. I'm thinking maybe I should switch things around too, because I had room and everything, had some space and all that, but one of the things I had in my room that I have in the closet now, it was an ottoman, and it just has like my extra Transformer figures and some other stuff in there. So I figured I would just put that in the closet and stuff, and just kind of switch things up. And also the fact I was putting some books together, it got me thinking, why not get the shelves out of my closet that have my books, or at least books that I've collected throughout the years. So, long story short, that's what I did, and I'm about to show you the end result. So, let's go, shall we? Now, as you can see upon opening the door, you might say, well, things look a little similar, pretty much the same, and all that. And it does. It does look the same, except up here, I used to have the Fluttershy version of this. Now I have this up here. Now, you might say, well, don't you have command strips? Wouldn't that weaken it? Here's the thing. One of the things I do is I get one of those metal hooks, if you will, that you hang stuff with. And basically, when a command strip, fails, I just put like the metal hook in there, or I just put a nail instead to keep the hook on, and then I hang whatever I want to put on there. Mostly these kind of things you want to hang with, not just a command strip. If you get a command strip, you want to make sure the command strip is thinner so that it'll fit into the hole in the back. But here I decided just to use the hook I already had on there. And this is something I got from the Fiesta back in 2008, 2009. This is when the first 2 Transformer movies came out and everything. So I decided to do that. I decided to get that at the Apricot Fiesta, and I've had it ever since. So that's up there and everything. And it's underneath the Michael Jackson thing. And as you can tell, not much, initially has changed too much. I mean, I was planning to move this somewhere, I don't know where, because I had my table. And I was thinking, well, I'm being told and suggested I need an end table right here for this. But it didn't work because anytime I would open the door, it would crash right into the table. So I decided just to put this back, move it, move it to the wall, and it kind of helps steady it a little bit as well, a little bit more better, less wobbly, if you will, less wobbly, for my fridge. So that way, like when I open it up, less chance of it's going to fall and everything. But I still might get like a table or something like that, an end table down the line. But as we walk in, as we could see, again, not much has changed except for a few things in the plush department. This rarity right here, she was a rarity that I had in a plastic bag since, I don't know how long. I think since maybe a few years after we moved in here. I think I've had her. I think I bought. Actually, I got her about a year or two after we moved here, and that was like 2017, 2018, and I had it on a plastic bag in the closet for quite some time, and I figured, you know what, I'm switching things up, might as well bring her out and put her with the other plushes, and that's what I did. And that's the initial plan. I have other plushes stored away in the garage, but that's the initial plan down the line. As hard as work as that would be, putting them back on the bed, I do have some other plushes I would like to, individually over time bring out and, decorate the bed with and everything. But like I said, that's the only change with the plushes here is her, and then of course a month ago had Luna added to the collection as well. The other thing I ended up adding, I don't know if you can see it in the back. It's down there. I don't know if you can really see it very well, but I got a six plug outlet the other day. I don't know. Yeah, there it is right there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, but it's a 6-plug outlet. I ended up getting that from Knob Hill over here, over here in town. So now I can turn on my light, this and this when I want to. Thus saving on that, especially when I'm laying down at night. I can turn that on, my reading portion of that lamp, get a book, and read it. Or if I don't want to have to go through all the hassle with, my MetaQuest 3, where if you don't have any light, it just takes you into immersion, and you get the sound, the background music of the immersion. If I don't want to deal with that, which isn't a problem, I will turn that on and it will help out. So, so I ended up getting that, like I said, the other day. Then of course, I have some extra CDs and everything that I dug out and everything while I was switching things up. These are some of the CDs, VCDs, if you will, that I used to create, AMVs, PMVs, stuff like that. Get my microphone right there. That's my microphone I use for the phone when I record, if I'm laying down and everything, or I'm walking around and stuff like that. So there's that. Then over here, here's the main area, if you will. You can definitely tell I got a little bit more space to the closet and everything, but a little sacrificial, a little bit of a sacrificialness as well. But as you can see, still have my ottoman. This has my movies in there. Down the line, that might go in the closet too, but we'll see. I probably have to do that when the fall back to school season comes around. And you've got the table. The table used to be like right here on the side. It used to be like turned around on this side right here. And then this was like right over here. So I decided I'm just going to move it out. And the reason I did, mainly, is because of the fact that right here, this thing right here, has a lot of CD cases. This thing, the Mona Lisa and Dirk Savage is on. This has a lot of empty CD cases and some CDs with cases in them. Some CD cases with the CDs in them. So you got, that's basically a CD shelf right there, and you could also primarily use that like for, let's say, like back in the day, PS1 games and stuff like that, or even PC games. So it's a CD shelf for music CDs or other CDs, if you will. And of course, over here, got a lot more figures put away or brought back out, as you can tell. Have Gwenpool. She's not Gwenpool, but I have Spider Girl right here. Peter and Mary Jane's daughter, if you will. I think that's who it is. Yeah, it's Spider Girl. So yeah, Peter and Mary Jane's daughter, or Mary Jane, depending on how you look at it. Whatever version you look at. And then of course got the grayscale Optimus Prime there. Then my G.I. Joe figures of CoverGirl. Of CoverGirl. I think this one is Lady J. Yeah, that's Lady J. And this one, of course, is Scarlet. So I got those. Then I got my Transformers lunchbox that I got off eBay right there. So I just switched things around. Now this here, this shelf right here, I used to have in there. So it's got a lot of movies in it, on the bottom at least. Like, some of the movies I showed you in that DVD update I did. I'll put the playlist in the description if you want, or even at the end of the video. But basically, this has a lot of the CDs, a lot of the other DVDs that are in there, or that were in there in the shelf, I should say. So I decided to bring it out. As you can tell, I put some of my Turtle stuff some of my Turtle series, complete series on there, along with some other stuff as well. Just a bunch, and then Nautical Blitz Tactics is also behind there, if you will. So I just moved some stuff around, and I've got some CDs here. I used to have those on the ground here, so now they're up here and everything. And then here, this is another shelf I had in there. This had a lot of books. This is where all the Berenstein Bear books I had. So a lot of the first time books are on the bottom, believe it or not. And then a lot of the other books and Disney Adventure books and unrelated books are up here, as you could tell. Even have a RC from Enertron, Transformers Enertron right there. But that's some of the books right here. I even have the biography down the Sunny Road. You know, Stan and Jan Berenstein biography. And it has some Playboy issues as well, with wrestler ones, that is, you know, with China and all them. Then I got some of my DVDs right there and everything. Then over here I got some VHSs, Berenstein Bears mostly, as you could tell. And then of course, speaking of VHSs, I have some right there as well. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And then of course I got my other stuff, my DVDs and everything right here. And then of course my table, here's what's crazy. Originally I had these three things right over here, and just moments before I started recording, I decided to put them over here and decided to put the table over here, you know, because it puts a little bit more room and less, you know, strain on, you know, less damageable strain maybe on the tape, not the table, but the door. The door, excuse me there, it's early. It's early when I'm recording this. But anyway, yeah, basically, I decided to move the table from here to over here. Makes it easier, and I still have room to back up and everything if I want to. Then my shoe thing here, I gotta fix it, my shoe thing, because what happened, because it's been so hot out here over the past few days, is that around 10:30, 11 a.m. in the morning, we start putting the cooler on, so we have to shut the windows. So what happened yesterday, a little after 11, because it was still hot, but it wasn't, you know, to the point that we would put on the cooler just yet, but we were going to anyway, because it got to that point. I think it was like 15 minutes after 11. Anyway, what happened is that I started doing all this. I started moving all the stuff over there, and basically it got in the way to the point that I couldn't even get in. I couldn't get over there straightly. I couldn't walk straight over, so I had to carefully step over some stuff, and I ended up stepping on this and cracking it just a bit, but not too badly. It's still workable. I just got to fix it a bit, so I might get a new one down the line if I have to. But yeah, basically ended up cracking that a little bit, but it's okay. It's still good. But yeah, so what I did though, like I said, is I had these three things over here with my other Transformer figures, and I decided, you know what, I know how things are around here for as long as I've been around, or as long as I've been living here. So I figured, you know, why not just, you know, out of cautiousness, just, you know, move these guys from here to there, and then move this from here to here, make it easier, and that's what it does. So that's kind of what I did. It's kind of what I did. The other things, as well, as you could tell, that I brought back out, I got to dust them up a little bit, have my diamond collections of the Phoenix and X-23 right there, and then my G Fuel cup from Angry Joe. Yeah, I got the Angry Joe one. And here's what's interesting. For a while, I couldn't get it because it was sold out, but when it finally came back in, I nabbed it. So yeah, I got Angry Joe right there. So shout out to Angry Joe. Got his thing right there. And then of course I got my Wonder Woman figure. They brought this out basically when Wonder Woman, the first Gal Gadot Wonder Woman film was coming out. So I decided to get it at my former job of Walmart. I got it there, so I was happy to get that and everything. And then of course I just moved some other stuff around as well. As a matter of fact, what you might also notice is I got a lot of my Target. Well, most of these were Target exclusives, believe it or not. So these are the 6-packs that they would release. So I got a 6-pack for New Generation, you know, G5 right here. Got a 6-pack that came out for the movie. Then got the Wonderbolt 6-pack. And then right below that, we're going to move this just a bit, we got the Power Ponies. So I have essentially all 5, unless I'm missing one, let me know if I'm missing one, but all 5 premium collector packs of the figures. You know, still packed away, still in the packaging and everything. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to have these. And when I saw this at my job at Target, I was like, I gotta get it, and I did. And then this, of course, I got online, I think through Amazon, believe it or not. Amazon, believe it or not, had this. Because, of course, Amazon, like some places, does third parties. And I saw this on there, and I'm thinking, well, let's see if I can get it. And I did. And I'm thinking, well, I'm thinking at first, okay, that's probably a picture that they could get. But as soon as I got it and I opened it, I was like, oh, it does have the only a Target deal. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then down here, the Super Nintendo, original Super Nintendo I got back in, I think it was 96, when I was out here. My oldest niece had a Super Nintendo, and her father at the time, who basically, you know, I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically her father, it was basically, let's put it this way, visitation deals, a visitation situation. So her father ended up getting her one, and I think this is the one he gave her. And then me and my dad were out there visiting for Christmas, not Christmas, for my birthday, and they said, let him have it. And I've had it since then. So yeah, that was the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and all that she was given by her dad back in 96, I believe. Now, of course, I have my Lino Thundercat sword right there and everything. And pretty much, yeah, that's about it. And I do have my picture back there as well of the group shot right there. You know, the final group shot and everything. If I can just steady. Man, I'm gonna have to switch that up a little bit. Got the final group shot there, you know, at the end of Last Problem. I got that. Let me here, so you can see I got that right there. I'm gonna measure that. Trying to keep the sisters together. There we go. But yeah, I got that, and then of course I got the other one from the song as well, right there. But anyway though, guys, yeah, that's about it. I mean, everything else is pretty much the same. I just, like I said, wanted to switch things up a little bit, refresh things, make things different, and all that. But let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought of the minor room update that I did, for the minor summer room update that I did, you know, here. And let me know if you guys have ever done stuff like this before. Let me know in the comments, like I said, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. And again, like I said, like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, share the video, click on the links in the description to help to find my content elsewhere outside of YouTube, as well as check out the Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. But guys, that's all I'm going to say for now. But let me know what your thoughts are. Again, let me know if you... Oh yeah, before I go, I do want to show you this, because you're probably wondering what does the closet look like. Well, here's the closet. As you can tell, the ottoman is down there, and then I got some other stuff here, Sonic Comics figures, and all that. And then of course, got a Minnie Mouse plush that I got from Goodwill back in Lawrence, Kansas. Then I got my grandpa's helmet, and then my Documacuras of Cadence, Celestia, Luna, and Sunset right there. So I got that there. Probably fix that up later on, but it's enough room. And then here, I moved my thing over here so I can get to my shirts as well. And then of course everything else is just thrown in here, and I have to fix it up down the line and everything, but that'll be in time. But that's all. That's about it, guys. But so like I said, like the video, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, share the video, click on the links in the description to find my content elsewhere outside of YouTube, as well as click on the links to the Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else. And also, like I said, let me know in the live comments or in the comments after the premiere if you guys have done something like a minor, you know, switcheroo of your room or home at times for the, you know, for the summer season or whatever seasons, you know, suited your fancy. Let me know, and until then, I am out.